Okay, so we're going to continue with the session today. Topic is supposed to be Mr. and Mrs. Bezos and their journey. We have come to a point where there is a slight overlap, but it is mostly going on to Mr. Ramesh Advani, Nikhil Advani, Barsha Advani reign. We're starting a little early today since we've woken up early. It is 9:35 in the morning. It is Saturday. 28 is the sun. Sun and Saturn don't get along. Saturday is Saturn's day. Always father and son keep fighting. Other than that, it is also Pluto. So that is volatile energy. So really, it is like being in war. And like a family war actually, because it is father, son, and Pluto. Shani can't stand his father. They are enemies. Shani is. So, anyway, whatever it is, we just go with it. We go with the flow. Okay, so just give me a second. So let's hope this doesn't go out of focus, because sometimes I think it does go out of focus just to understand where the yes and the no is. It is irritating, but just to understand where the yes and the no is. So anyway, I've forgotten. What we do is we'll just remember and take Ganeshji's blessings, Shirdi Sai Baba's blessings, Shani's blessings, Shivji's blessings, Parvati Mata's blessings, Kartikeya's blessings, Vishnu's blessings, Ram and Krishna's blessings, and finally Gaur Mata's blessings with all the gods in her. We'll continue with the pendulum almost immediately, and then I will relate something that I have dreamt of when I was sleeping. Are you with me? Your file name cat? You file name cat? I'm also getting used to the threading of this pendulum. So let's see what is most comfortable. You know, I had a dream in deep state sleep. In my sleep, I also came to a deduction, but I've forgotten. Again, I dreamt of something which looked like yacht club. I'm not sure if it is yacht club, but it looks like, something that is government and military, maybe, not sure, but like a club setting. It is the similar place to where I see the journalist version of Kiran Merchant marrying a girl who is superimposed on me, and the daja on the table, like the what do you say, the visible trousseau that she's going to take without gold and silver. So a lot of show, but no real value. And that girl is very, very excited. She's getting married, but at the time of the marriage, she is doubtful and she says, what is this man capable of earning? She's more worried he may not be able to earn. But anyway, my dream though cut over there. It is not my marriage, it was her marriage. She seems to be worried about money a lot. So the similar kind of club setting with, the old British style clubs, something of that sort. What I see over there is, I don't know, again, there is a meeting. Ramesh Advani is involved, or someone looking like Ramesh Advani is involved. He seems to be meeting some old colonel who I don't quite recognize. That place is really nice, but the flooring is black and white, and I see that pattern on the floor. I've never been to that kind of place, so if I have, very little, but it is huge and it looks beautiful, all woodwork and all. But when they are walking over there, somebody is playing a beep, and you see like little spots on the floor at every little, at some distance. So they're trying to figure it out, or they know what it is. I don't know if they ask somebody to clean or what, not sure. But they're studying something. But anyway, then I get like a very long kind of um, book where two lines or three lines are written, and it seems to be hidden message in that. Is it a small little book? Is it a manual? It is not a letter, even though it's written in poetic prose and poetry, but it is directing indirectly that you need to go to new frontiers. You need to pack up and go to new frontiers. In my sleep, the deduction was that Ramesh Advani, was it the real Ramesh Advani who was behind this? Was it a stand in for Mr. Ramesh Advani who was behind this? Was he guiding all our cousins to move to another location? Was he doing so with a nefarious intent? Was he aware of the criminals or the criminal network that had spread itself in India? Was that letter meant for me also? Was that letter grabbed by a lookalike of mine thinking she is going to escape something? Did that lookalike of mine, is she still in her human form today? She moved abroad? Is she responsible for the murder of all my cousins? So she placed herself in that network to be me, to know where their movements were? Was this done on purpose? Was that version of Ramesh Advani willfully he did this? This is why they talk about abandonment when it comes to me. You were abandoned, something of that sort, making it look like I was part of this bullshit. Were I or my cousins ever part of this bullshit? Did we actually knowingly ever sign up for any of this crap? Did the replica of Ramesh Advani make it look that way? Dividing innocent people within a family who have nothing to do with his filthy games? On the back of it, did he actually gain a lot? On the back of the confusion created by him? Is he a mass murderer? Would you call him a murderer? Is he connected with Mr. Arun Jaitley in some way? Or then the movement of, let's just say, bottom of the pyramid, whose stealth mode entered into India, far more prosperous than the Middle East, with all the Middle Eastern problems that they have. Whether it is Iran, whether it is Iraq, whether it is Syria, whether it is the only one that was kind of helping itself thrive. was the UAE. Now occupancy and all, they went and stole from them also. Whether it is Yemen, whether it is whatever, Baba, there's lots of problems in that Middle Eastern region. So, did those people, stealth mode, who were born at the bottom of the pyramid, enter into India, then shake hands with poverty ridden in India, more so in Bombay and Delhi, but mostly in Bombay initially? This operation was run by SRK and Jaitley. SRK and Jaitley are from the same cloth with the same agenda. Given that SRK did from Jamia Ismail, he did mass comm, and Jaitley did journalism way before SRK hit the scenes, along with law. SRK's story, the way the press positioned him, imaged him, and put him out in society, did they buff his image up through Jaitley's contacts? In short, they empowered two murderers with nefarious intent. If I can just revisit one thing, Ankur Patodia shapeshifts for SRK, he stands in for SRK. Is there any girl who shapeshifts for Ankur Patodia ever? Ankur Patodia, when he lost his mind suddenly on a drive, 1997, at 12:31 in the morning, where he insisted he wants to teach me what fear is, what pain is, and what it is to cry. And now is heading towards Chembur, saying he's going to leave me at Khandala in the middle of nowhere, and I should understand these feelings. This trigger goes off in him even later. I luckily did not say anything, just called whoever was being Varsha at that time. Varsha called Uday Abhay Agarwal, and it became a big thing, where Ankur's movement and my location became known to everybody. So, any which ways, he turned around because he was caught. And what he was planning became well known to Uday Abhay Agarwal, who knew Sunair Thanawala, lot of cathedral people, HR people, Sidnim people, as well as Xavier's College and Jai Hind. So it would have become a big deal in and amongst all the people in our generation, not to mention Varsha's friends. So did he turn around upon Abhay Uday calling him and saying, "What the fuck are you doing? You need to turn around and drop her home"? He did it because he got caught. But this trigger in him happens even when he is shapeshifting for SRK ever. Kajol Mukherjee, who was in lots of movies, Bazigar, then with Anil Kapoor also, then in Dushman also. The real Kajol worked in movies up to the year 1998, 1999. That Kajol Mukherjee got married to Ajay Devgan. The one who is Tanuja's daughter, I think, or grew up at Carmichael Road, South Bombay somewhere. Did that girl get married to Mr. Ajay Devgan? When Mr. Ajay Devgan got married to a replica of Kajol, Kajol was still in her human form. The replica, when she did two movies, in 2000 was one release, 2001 was another release. Those movies were a flop. They didn't work with the public. That is because the replica was in the movie and not the original girl. The original Kajol Mukherjee was holed up in. She was pulled off the grid, kidnapped sometime. I asked you yesterday. 1998. You say she was murdered in April 2000 because I did the checking yesterday off camera. Was she holed up at the same place and done away with once Mr. Kiran Merchant was added to that place? Did they ever overlap? It's the same place where Kajol was held up. Anything between 1.5 to 2 years, including when Ajay Devgan, Ajay Devgan got married to a Kajol openly. He got married to a replica. Did he know he's getting married to a replica? Did Mr. Ajay Devgan know he is marrying a replica? Just give me a minute. I need to steady my hand. This was already done. The exercise was already done yesterday. So I have written it in the notes. These are the notes. Kajol kidnapped 1998, murdered April 2000, and that's why I had time to think about it to ask. Surely it wasn't the same place because Mr. Kiran Merchant was dumped in a place, taken underground. I believe it was January 2000. Abducted in the year 2000 and done away in 2009. But then that's when Varsha was dumped in that place. Mr. Kiran Merchant was abducted in 2000. Done away, murdered in 2009 by the same bunch of miscreants. I'm not scared of you. I'm not here for ego reasons. You are already caught, you are already documented in the Akashic records. Your dealing is actually not from here. तुमने अद्वैत के लिए बात किया है तो यहाँ पे तो आत्मिक रूप से रहूं तो शायद अद्वैतिज्म समझो, लेकिन यू आर तो स्टीप्ड इन क्राइम, ग्रैबिंग, ग्रीड, तो क्या अद्वैत समझेगा? So when you exit out of the body and come into the spirit world where you are spirit and you are genuinely Advait, everybody will gain equally according to the work done, according to what's inscribed in all the scriptures across all religions, the overlap of it, and then where you fit into it. Point is, if you have already earned 65 kalpas, not patal, 49 kalpas, not patal, 26 kalpas, not patal, 40 and 44 kalpas, not patal. So you are to an old timer, Baba. You know your game very well. तो तुमको क्या कन्विंस करना है? So all we are doing is taking a break for my hands because it's unsteady a bit. Okay, having steadied my hands, I'd like to know if Ajay Devgan, when he has married Kajol, if he knew he was marrying a replica. Today, does he know he is married to a replica? Ajay Devgan is still in his human form. Ajay Devgan is ISI. Ajay Devgan supports the Pakistani spies. Does he know he does that? So, in a way, he has been weaponized in some way, made use of, under pretense and falsehood. Coming back to Kajol Mukherjee, she was pulled off the grid in 1998, you say, sometime. She was murdered in April 2000, is what you say. There was an overlap between the real Mr. Kiran Merchant married to my mom in her second marriage. They spent some time at the same place before she was murdered. Was Kiran Merchant also murdered along with Kajol at the same time? Was Kiran Merchant kept at that place or then even shifted around and murdered in the year 2009? Was the real Mr. Kiran Merchant joined under force by his legally wedded wife in her second marriage, Mrs. Anita Advani, or then Anita Merchant? Did this addition happen sometime in 2002 end 2003? The Anita who was put into place for the abducted and still alive Anita Merchant, she's still alive? Parpati Sadrangani's daughter and Ramchand Sadrangani's daughter, older sister of Binu Sadrangani, Manjeet Sadrangani, Rajan Sadrangani, Neena Sadrangani. That lady is still in her human form? Does she look like Anita Merchant today or then as ex-Mrs. Anita Advani? Is the lady in safe hands as of today? It is she who is supposed to be exiting out of the body by the end of the year or early next year. She will be joining you people in the higher realms, her journey forward. The woman who came in her place was represented by Satya Sai Baba during 2019. A flash out of nowhere, I was awake. It was like an open eyed vision. I don't even know where it came from. Sly eyed Anita in a place which has nothing, not even a twig growing from the ground. The only giveaway is her eyes are darting everywhere and she looks pretty sly. That woman comes from the Middle East. She's a replica for the real Anita Merchant. She knows Kiran Merchant, who I call Kira. She knows, does this Middle Eastern woman know that Kiran Merchant is a Pakistani spy? Actually, this sly woman who was shown by Satya Sai Baba to me with darting eyes, does she know that Kiran Merchant is Kira and he's a Pakistani spy? Does she know it? Is it she with the shifty eyes shown by Satya Sai Baba in a vision 2018, I think? Was it? No, 19. Suddenly, I think it was morning time. I just woken up and I don't know from where we saw this. I don't even know how it happened. Or was I sleeping also? I don't know. But the question is she the one who has earned 65 kalpas, not Patal, going forward? I'm trying to identify who is the sly woman who has shapeshifted. Rosie, you said, has earned below 10 kalpas, not Patal? True? Rosie Fernandez. Her son, Rocky Fernandez, you say 40 kalpas, not Patal? Either it is Agnello or it is Tony Fernandez, not sure. One of the two. 44 kalpas, not Patal. Their sister, 16 kalpas, not Patal. Kira, the Pakistani spy who has stood in from 2000 for Kiran Merchant, you say 26 kalpas, not Patal. So having understood their journey, I'm trying to understand, Kajol Mukherjee managed to go to the higher realms when she has exited out of the body in 2000. You say April 2000. She has found her community over there. Does she hang around with you in the higher realms? She has her own community in the higher realms. There are many people from the cinema line who exited out of the body who've gone to the higher realms. Many people have gone to the higher realms. In the film industry, many people are yet to leave the body and go into the afterlife. Majority go to the higher realms. When I exit out of the body, the holder of the pendulum known as JAYA.ADVANI or Jaya Kanyalal Advani or Jaya Kanyalal Hukumat Rai Advani. When I exit out of the body, will I be going to the higher realms? Rather joining those in the higher realms wherever Okay, this needed to be done here, not about higher realms, lower realms, because this is an exercise done off camera even before. It had to be established. Now, going back to what is the most important. All this is just to establish that unfortunately they call Mr. Ajay Devgan a victim. हमने कल already किया है off camera. I can't keep doing this. My body hurts like there's no tomorrow when I go to sleep. Frankly telling you. So anyway, point is I had to do this. The crux of the matter, actually this whole exercise is about somebody who stood in for Mr. Ramesh Advani, made sure that he kept some people out, plugged in replicas, one only in my identity, and on the back of her has gotten rid of many of my cousins from the Advani side of the family. They themselves didn't know what this is all about. So he has played it really filthy. Okay? The identity of this man, the identity of the man who has played on the back of Ramesh Advani, what I saw in my dream. Do I know the man? Do I know the man for his, no, I do I know of the man also for his true identity? The man who has done all this jumbling, do I know him for his true identity? Do I know the man for his true identity, Varsha? Okay, she's not here. Let it be. Okay, since the pendulum stopped working, I understand she's trying to indicate to continue with this read. So I'll continue with this. This is supposed to be about Bezos. But this is the background of it. So we are going with it. The connection to, if Bezos, if the pendulum is, if I've understood it properly and the pendulum is telling the truth, then Bezos and his little crossing paths happened at University of Waikato. Either it was the original or it was a shapeshifter for the original, I don't know. But as the accommodation manager. Because over there, Akshay Kukreja definitely has spoken about him knowing at a high level people who work at Google. He has mentioned Amazon and shopping on Amazon. He has also mentioned about, the only thing he has not mentioned about is Elon Musk and Neuralink. Or then Tesla. He hasn't mentioned about that. That's the only thing he hasn't covered. He has definitely mentioned Google also and the top management over there, and he has also mentioned Amazon. Then he has also mentioned sleeping with men who are the higher ups in big companies and very wealthy rich men. And that's it. Just leave it at that. I think he's a 22, 21, 23-year-old, so he's the new generation. We don't even bother. We just let him be where we feel he's little off in his understanding without really becoming old granny to lecture him. I think in 1-2 sentences we just let him know that we don't agree with some things, but we leave it. That's, his life. Well, compared to him, we're already 46 and he's supposed to be 22, 23, 21. So we're double his age or more than double his age. So we treat him accordingly. Here it comes to Liam, but this has to be turned upside down. L-I-A, this upside down becomes Liam. He was definitely there on the grounds. He was Christie's friend. He used to visit our cottage in the first semester a lot. He was there in the second semester also. His friend was from Vietnam. Yeah. And then another girl from Hong Kong. So they're a Southeast Asian group. They're nice people. They come cook, have a party. That's it. We also, was Liam invited for a lunch or something also initially, where everyone did potluck? I can't remember. But we did host a couple of lunches and have everyone bring in the potluck in different groups. So I can't remember. But anyway, this is now very old, 2012. But his name is over here. Now, why do we have Lana? Okay, we have the name Lana. So Lana Del Rey maybe, but I don't know how she connects to our setup. I don't see why she should connect with our setup. What does she have to do with it? She's the one who sings lots of melancholy songs. Varsha used to love her songs. I used to listen to it too, but then I found that no, I don't want to listen to her songs because they're too melancholy in the tune. It seems okay, but no, it's not okay. In fact, I used to spend the whole day listening to her songs. but and watching the videos. But later on I understood, no, it's not okay. Don't, there's something in there that is not okay. So don't do that. If she's still in her body, then she should know what this is all about. The thing about people who are working in the entertainment industry, the ones who spend their money and invest in you, will do so only if you meet their agenda. The kind of songs you sing, the kind of movies you make, or rather you act in, or you script, or you get funding for, only if it is in line with that who's financing you, whether it is direct from source or it is channeled through many channels before it reaches you. Only if it fits in with the agenda of influencing the masses according to that who has created so many wars in the past. Yes. You blame the mill owners when it came to cotton. Take Bombay as an example, where so many people have blamed the mill owners for them being out of work, but the one who created the industrialization so that you are left without a job, and the one who spends the money, that person you never thought of, nor have you ever mentioned. And what you don't realize is that he's actually the murderer, and he keeps herding you in the direction, making you do more and more work that he wants you to do. And you work for the murderer. He creates the problems and he throws the money to make you work further. He puts you in a problem, then he only comes forward and makes you work for the want of money and makes you work for more damage further. That you don't understand. So he's always playing with everybody. If there is one observation about Bollywood, Hollywood, keep Hollywood to the side, they are the long gone. Oprah Winfrey with her one eye black, rather one eyeball missing, and everything surrounding it completely black. She's very influential. You know it, I know it. She's got her own history, her own sad story associated with her own upbringing and her own childhood issues. Yet we have seen, yet once again, not only her, many like her. What are they? They are piggy banks. Till the time they work for that who wants the money, they work. They are allowed to grow. What is so great about Oprah? Why nobody else can do the job? Yet there are those who are chosen for a particular reason, allowed to grow. There are some far more talented than them. They never see the day of light. Maybe they don't want to work according to the agenda of that who's spending the money. Everybody is a piggy bank. That's it. When that who allows you to grow wants to break the piggy bank and that money is stashed in your name with your hard work, he will do so. He has done it umpteen number of times. You are no different. All right? Anyway, as an outsider, my observation of Bollywood, now what it's gone to Tollywood, and whatever else you want to call the others. So anyway, when it comes to Bombay's Bollywood and how it has moved, since I have come to Bangalore, it has taken them 3-4 years now to show themselves at Andhra Pradesh as well as Tamil Nadu. They're doing the same fucking thing that they did in the 90s. The girls in this place and the boys in this place who are moneyed better be very careful. I'm saying it in black and white. You'll have no one to blame except yourself if you are going to make movie over movie. Grab money from that source that is destroying you without you even realizing it. Also, I really do say that the defense and the military to छोड़ो, police जो होता है, there have to be absolutely, if you can, like the Fiat car, once you drive the Fiat car, anything is possible. These guys have already done their destruction in Bombay as well as Delhi. They know what they are doing. NTR's name keeps coming up because it is a problem. He has been affected. He's somewhere in Madhya Pradesh, underground somewhere. Now the first one he has done this with, Ankur Patodia, who can shapeshift. He's a stand-in for GTN Textiles listed on BSC. His son. That boy was a cathedral boy, taken out much earlier. The one who stood in his place broke up with Ankur Patodia's first and only girlfriend, according to me, and made a big issue about being depressed and being a depressed maniac. Showed also prescription from London for some kind of medication he was taking. Was it him or is it a girl connected with shapeshifting? Is it VKJK? Don't know. All this needs to be investigated. If you look at it very closely, you will come to know who the culprit is, at least in this case. The culprit from those days habitually cuts into calls, grabs ever since the passport was stolen. उस टाइम पे करिया हमारे घर पे था, यहाँ पे करिया का जिक्र है. Who is it who gave the kariya? Who is it that brought in the contractor? Mr. Jaitley's muh boli ban, Divya Bhargava's mother, is what Varsha says. Worse still if it was not her. And that version of Varsha was plugged in by Mr. Jaitley himself. Into number 4 Jaswal, behind my back, JAYA.ADVANI, I'm shown in a deep state dream, has been murdered when I was at QUT. Her parents haven't been told, except that Manjeet Mama himself, my reading is saying, was done away with either at Lagos or he was in Bombay from Lagos, Nigeria, in 1985 itself. So if the kariya which was put into our home or the contractor was again from BJP and Mr. Arun Jaitley in specific, then everything else is history. There's another guy who is called Atikuruman. Atikuruman shapeshifts or is Nawazuddin Siddiqui? I don't know. I'm not sure. May not even be. But there's too much shape-shifting happening. Too much confusion created in India, and it is mostly by the bottom of the pyramid of the Middle East shaking hands with Pakistan. Pakistan was given all its money, which it used for funding what they call terrorism. America stopped giving them money, but they still needed money to sustain those that they had put into some kind of work. Where can they get money if America refuses to give them money? Keeping them poor, keeping them needy, keeping them dependent was America's plan. Was it America's plan, or did these guys just play the younger brother thinking that the flow of money is endless and then use it for, instead of having their own manufacturing, their own development, just aisho aram and money is coming in, never thinking about tomorrow? That they only have to do a self-examination. We cannot do it for them. But if their money is not being given to them because America is calling them as using American funding for running terrorist camps, who do they turn to get the money? They have to turn to their own Islamic world. Who in the Islamic world is very rich? The Middle East, but only pockets of it. Who in the pockets of it? The royalty and those who are in charge of the oil. Will they give them the money? No, they don't want to dirty their hands. They know if they give with wrong karma, they will never get their royal birth ever again. What about going to the higher realms? So they are very scared. They also can't accept it. So what do these guys do? Rear door entry, shake hands with the bottom of the pyramid. And if you look at the pyramid, the top of the pyramid is definitely lonely at the top. The bottom of the pyramid has maximum strength. As you keep going up, it is smaller and smaller and smaller. The peak is absolutely lonely at the top. What is the pyramid? The pyramid is like this. This is the pyramid. So it is lonely at the top, most strength at the bottom of the pyramid. What do these guys do? In few kingdoms, get rid of royalty one way or the other, plug their people in and start siphoning money. Then invest that stolen money into other places to create more problem, and this is how they've gone ahead. Hardened criminals to tell you in the least. To earn 65 kalpas, 49 kalpas, 26 kalpas, 40 kalpas, 44 kalpas, you cannot achieve that kind of great achievement of Nark Patal in one birth. Where you were born also is a backlog of liabilities brought forward in your balance sheet of these kind of tactics done by you even in previous lifetimes. You are hardened criminals. Anyway, that is a backdrop of what happened in the background, which you are not understanding, but it has already spread itself. India, America, Russia, by the criminals only posing as government. They have knocked off too many people, they have sprinkled their people everywhere. Tell me one thing, when you have a dish, you sprinkle salt in it or you sprinkle pepper in it. Can you remove it? Or does it gul milofy in the entire dish, changing the dish only? Same with the sprinkling of criminals. Illuminati, what Illuminati? The Illuminati is only as good as they used to be a royal society. अब वहाँ पे criminals sprinkle करो, क्या होता है? You'll be on a rampage of killing the originals, replacing them with duplicates with very bad values. What Illuminati? Here you tell me, how is it China Z is connected with Lana Del Rey with Kira the Pakistani spy? Why are her songs so bloody melancholy? Now, if the money is being spent by good Illuminati, you look at the quality of songs we used to have. What is the entertainment we used to have in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 40s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s? You show me what you are capable of. What have you put out as entertainment? Why? You do a self-examination. What Illuminati? So whoever is spending the money is doing so from a place of destruction, cloaked in one of those terminologies called Illuminati. Except that how many people they've gotten rid of is anyone's guess. To rape a French blue blood, traded into the country, even she doesn't know she's French blue blood. She's grown a very mediocre life. No air, she doesn't even know, even I don't know. She's supposed to be the same sibling I have grown up with. Neither do I know, nor does she know. But the one who did the trading connected with the People's Party of India. A snake amongst them all. He definitely knew he used it to his advantage. He also raped another Indian known blue-blooded girl. So you cannot be the Illuminati, you are the labor class. There is no illumination in you by dearth and birth, born in that dearth. What you are, even in previous births, is well established. Then how you grew in this birth, how much manipulation, how much lies, how much deceit, how much murder, that also stealth mode. Such a coward. That is another proof of who you are. Last, he has not even left Buckingham Palace. So when that family, the royal family, everyone knows, disintegrated. Whenever there's problems within a family, you can be assured that piece of shit has spread and sprinkled some crap of his into the setup. Sorry to speak unparliamentary and unroyal language, but that's what it is. Any which ways, with the sprinkling of all the bullshit all over, you don't know actually clear waters when it has the sewage water spoiling it. When sewer enters clear waters, what is left? So tell me about Lana Del Rey. Don't know if this is true. I get confused between Kit and Kim. One is friend, one is family. So anyway, Nix. What is it? You like her song? Down by the beach, something of that sort. Why so melancholy? I can't understand. And that thing with those boys. Have a look little at how people make nice songs. It is good for the energy of the earth. It is good for all the youngsters who are growing up. But you will not get the funding. That's the problem. So now you understand who's funding you, what quality that funder is. But you should find out, his funding is self-earned or stolen on back of blood money, on the back of murder. Then murder where? Grabbing where? How did he break piggy banks of other people's earnings and grab it as his own? And now he decides what kind of communication should go out. But when the communication is so terrible, then what his soul must be. So what if he has the money? He has murdered good people, grabbed the money. There are more good people on earth than that one piece of whatever he is. He's only covering the ugliness of him and his associates, which is a smaller component, hiding behind that money. But if he could have gone and killed people who earn the money, and they have self-respect, they have dignity, so they live, without breathing down other people's backs. They socialize, but they know the niceties. They know what civil behavior is. This is what he took advantage of. Yes, but then he's a small component. Why you can't find him and put him in his place? So far he's been getting away playing a chessboard game in the cheap manner in which he has done it. That also on the back of blood money. Mr. Bezos is no more in his body. I want to say it, neither is Scott McKinsey. When she was kind of sad, because you must understand, clean relationships, building a business together as friends within a marriage, then making it a huge success, it takes a lot of hard work. You trust each other as partners. Somebody wears the skin of your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your child, and is bad with you. Your spouse. This is what she has gone through before she has exited out of the body. So cowardly, the miscreants. Can't even do the work on their own. Don't you keep wearing masks now in every bloody second movie that you are making? The French style, that fucking idiotic mustache. Why you can't do work with your own face? Anonymous. What I am telling you in very clear terms, if they were a piggy bank, so are you. You are more disposable than they were. Your ill-earned money is going to take you to a place you're not going to like. If you've never done this in the past, then this will be the start of your journey. Once on that journey, you cannot get a good birth in the future. To survive, you will do more wrong, blaming everything but your own atmic journey. From there is no looking back. You are always in wait line in the Brahman, in the universe, to get a birth, whatever birth that be. You are making fun of pissing, shitting, all that. Don't you realize you pay premium when you have well ventilated homes? The human form compared to the other forms is the most ventilated form you can get compared to so many of the other human forms or the other life forms. Yet you make fun of it because you are highly uneducated, mister, from the bottom of the pyramid. That you don't even know that when God gives you a free gift, similarly you are paying premium prices for well ventilated homes, for good sewage system. What you wanted to state inside your home? Your body is the home for your soul. What you want it to be. Then why you make such a big deal on things like piss, shit, vomit? What you are doing? That's because you are uneducated. Narnia was a movie. Never ending story. Something of that sort. Did Narnia have the witch in it? Did Narnia, the movie Narnia, have a witch in it? Don't know. I've forgotten the movie. I have watched it. So anyway, Ilvik Day means to want to remove light and bring in darkness. A wick when lit as day. You light a wick in darkness, you get some kind of light. May not be the brightest, just depends how big the wick is and how big the lamp is. But it definitely can drive out darkness. You are ill towards the wick and towards daylight. You will eclipse the sun the way the Bung did so. But that is after SKF came into being. On the back of the real Salman Khan being murdered in 2009. So this Narnia, there is somebody either who funded it, the idea was ill, they wanted to project something out in society for taking out daylight and bringing in darkness. So we explained to you without understanding this about the Illuminati, sprinkling of something with salt, pepper and changing the whole consistency of the dish or the taste of the dish, or then sugar in somebody fed to, sugar in something liquid fed to a diabetic. That's darkness to light, forcing it upon somebody. Again, clear water and then putting sewage water into it. What are you going to save over there? What do you have left with you? Right? Let's hope the point is established. Is there a Li? Is there a Z? Is there LA? LA for Hollywood. Your Hollywood, you all are saying, is as good as bust. Why? You don't have the actors. The actors were murdered and stealth mode replaced by people. So again, going back to the Kajol issue, I didn't expect this, but of course, today is what day I said? We're in a fighting day. We got Sun and Saturn along with Pluto, magnified. Saturn is a very dark planet, Sun is light. They don't get along. Pluto, you know, is power, but it is transformation, it is also destruction. So, you got problems in the making of movies in Hollywood, which is a dead place now, is what I just read on YouTube. Somebody is saying, actually, it is all empty, something of that sort. Why? Because stealth mode people who don't know how to do the job grabbed the money and ran. That's why. All through the 2000s. Now they are in your Washington DC doing the same thing for the cola and whatever else, middle class, upper middle class, the left behinds for that. Also they're sweeping out Russia. Their target is actually Hinduism in India as well as Saudi. Mecca, Medina and India as a spiritual place. That's the actual target. But not before they don't grab the money. Digitally set it for them to take it and then maybe create a new currency, which is a digital currency or what, I don't know, but definitely convert it to something that suits them. Okay? They are hardened criminals. I will not say anything else. I insist they are hardened criminals. Whatever you see in terms of governance, the dance drama being done is nothing but diversion tactic. They can't even do that properly because they primarily are desperados from the bottom of the pyramid from many lifetimes before. They are known to do nakal. Nakal is to mimic and copy, pose. But if you really go and pull them to their real identity and take it back to the soul and the home they come from, you will understand it in entirety. Okay? And yeah, they are very dangerous. They are very, very dangerous people. Hardened criminals, if I can establish it very clearly, you must understand 26 kalpas, 40 kalpas, 44 kalpas, 49 kalpas, 65 kalpas. You know who's got 65 kalpas of Nark and Patal? It is so sad. It is a lady who has shapeshifted for my own mother. My own mother does not look like what she used to look like as Mrs. Anita Advani, and then in her second marriage, Mrs. Anita Merchant. The real lady doesn't look like her. Self. Her replica was put out by Kira, the Pakistani spy, 2003 onwards, or maybe 2002 end onwards. It took him how many years to plan it? He himself replaced the Sant Kiran Merchant in the year 2000. He got rid of Kiran Merchant's wife, legally wedded wife, in her second marriage and replaced her with somebody. And on that identity has done lots of churning. You must, even though it is my family that has been affected, and everybody has been churned in my father's figure or my mother's face. father's face or mother's face, because this guy hates my family. I know what the repercussions are, but I still insist that it should be out there. I still establish it as evidence. I will insist it is evidence. It is not my job to be intelligence, military, or then police. So you have your own intelligence. I'm sure you know how to handle the information. I'm sure you also know something. But I will establish it that I am Jaya.ADVANI. I'm not changing my name for anything or anything. I'm Jaya Kanayalal Hukumatrai.ADVANI. I'm not changing it. I have grown up at Fort Jaswal. I have lived most of my life at Fort Jaswal. First floor, 9 New Marine Lines, however you want to take it, Bombay 20. It is in that house that Mr. Kani.ADVANI has been rotated before he's been murdered, with the identity of Mr. Kani.ADVANI somewhere else, mostly around Panvel area, is what I've understood. Yes, they have slight changes in their behavioral pattern, but mostly it is my dad. He's an old man. But the point is, so we say he can be elderly, and so it's this way. But they've done the same thing at Lunavla Prashanti Nilayam, the bungalow, in the identity of Anita Merchant, including Rohika Chagla Mistry. MC Chagla's granddaughter is what my pendulum says. When it comes to the list, this is the list of what the miscreants have earned. Written, this is why Kajol is not our relative, nor is she hanging around with our community in the higher realms. She has earned the higher realms, but I couldn't put her in this list because this list are all people going to the lower realms. Rocky Fernandez, no, that's Rosie Fernandez, less than 10 kalpas Patal Nark. It is 7 kalpas that she has earned, Rosie Fernandez herself. Her son Rocky Fernandez is 40 kalpas. I don't know if that is Agnello Fernandez. Yeah, it is 26 kalpas Patal Nark. Tony Fernandez, her other son 44 kalpas Patal Nark. They have a sister who functions with her same face. She's got 16 kalpas Patal Nark. Jay, who has stood in for me as Jaya.ADVANI, she's the kin and the kith of SL, who is in place of Sanjeev Rajan Lekraj from 96 onwards. Slow and steady, more so after 2006. That girl has got 49 kalpas of Patal and Nark. She's already attuned to whatever from before only. Then there is Kira, who has stood in for Kiran Merchant. He's got 26 kalpas. He's a Pakistani spy. He's known, his identity is known to SRK, is what I've been told. SRK knew bloody well about everything that has happened. This guy Kira has done more than 70 murders so far, is what the pendulum says. Anita, who is stood in for Anita Merchant, who doesn't look like herself, or ex-Mrs. Anita.ADVANI. She's supposed to be from the Middle East. She is the kin or connected to the Middle East in some way. She's the kin of JNSL. 65 kalpas, Nark and Patal. Kabs, who has stood in for Kabir Gupta, he's supposed to have American bloodline, 20 kalpas, Patal, Nark. Samir Sharma, I don't know, didn't get. But when it comes to our own Sadrangani family, Neena Nanthur, either her or her shapeshifter, Arun Nanthur, her husband, Aarti, her daughter. 12 for Neena Nanthur, lower realms, Arun Nanthur 10 and Aarti 17. That is because probably Kira, calling himself Raw, standing in for the real Kiran Merchant who was being beaten underground. Neena Nanthur's own sister, ex-Mrs. Anita.ADVANI, and then Anita Merchant in her second marriage, was overlapped with Mr. Kiran Merchant in that under wherever it is they had hold these people up. There was an overlap of few years, is what my pendulum has indicated. Then to place Varsha over there with Anita Merchant's face, where she was kept for 9 years. Your daughter has visited her also. She was raped and murdered finally February 2018, raped over 9 years, but murdered in 2018. Kira is the one who ran the operation, but Kira is a Pakistani spy who stood in for Kiran Merchant. Kiran Merchant himself was murdered in 2009, after which Varsha was placed over there as Anita Merchant. Your Aarti has gone and met Varsha, thinking she's going to meet her Masi. So whatever happened to Anita Merchant, Aarti thought, don't know what she thought, that she was going and meeting her Masi. Because Varsha was not Varsha. Varsha was CRISPR to look like Anita Merchant. Parallelly in Lonavala, Rohika Chagla Mistry says that she was taken over there with the face of Anita Merchant and she has exited out of her body as a sick lady at Bhimra's house. Anita Merchant and Kiran Merchant's bungalow, their neighbor who bought that bungalow for more monies in later years. When exactly, you figure it out. I have no clue. So this is why perhaps I can't see actually these guys doing the wrong thing on purpose. It is possible under the name of RAW they were guided, misguided, or something from the BJP, guided, misguided, NDA, misguided, don't know. BJP in those days. But they gave it the criminal. And ultimately triggered a lot of destruction for a lot of people. Without their knowledge, with their knowledge, I don't know. But because this list has so much nonsense in it, I did not add Kajol's name here. I had to add her to the page where people have gone to the higher realms, but separately, because she's not actually our family, nor part of our friends circle from school and college. Yet she's one of the few who have gone. She is with a community, very few from the film industry, cinema line, who have moved to the higher realms. I have asked at least 5-6 times whether Ajay Devgan knew about her. So the proof actually is like genes. Now what is Josh? I don't know which movie it is. Shah Rukh Khan is acting with Aishwarya Rai, but that movie flopped suddenly in spite of a great star cast. That's because somebody amongst them was a duplicate. You track Kajol's career up to 1998 or 1999. It takes about 2 years to make a movie, 1 year to make a movie, pre-production, shooting and post-production. In those days, how much time it used to take to make the movie? Put it all together and figure it out. This girl was pulled off the grid 1998. Very similar, this style is very similar to what Ankur Patodia threatened me, 1997. He also says when a girl is very pricey, 6 faces can replace that face. But over there, because I had the presence of mind, I have called Varsha, who has in turn called her boyfriend and his brother, and the whole cathedral community connected with them, or then HR community connected with them. And so he has to turn around, but he has no mind to do so, even as much as a few minutes after he has spoken to Varsha also, spoken to Abhay also, spoken to Uday also. Was he brain controlled? Because it took him about few minutes afterwards to realize what he is doing and then to turn back and drop me home. So was he being controlled by somebody? Brain control, because there's nobody amongst other than us. He's driving, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. He wants to show me how his new Mercedes, how good it is. So let's go for a little drive. I think it's going to be around in South Bombay. Suddenly that South Bombay drive turns into going towards Lonavala, but not Lonavala. He says, I'm going to drop you in Khandala. I want you to know what fear, pain and crying is. Now over here he has learned what mistake initially he's done, but what if he learned it but replaced it with clever moves, but repeated that behavior repeatedly? My incident, I'm no actress, I'm no model. I had just returned from QUT to get married to this boy. I checked whether he is been shape shifting for SRK. I got yes. The real villain is actually that who uses everybody as a weapon, weaponizes everybody, figures out what is your problem, what do you need, and then uses you accordingly. It's been put on Arun Jaitley and it's been put on SRK. Yes, I know you can put a little mic. You have done it through my ears, nose, mouth. Then you will talk some shit from inside my body. तुमने बोला बी जो है वो संजय कपूर के बॉडी के अंदर, मुंह के अंदर तो चला गया था और वो मरा हार्ट अटैक से. लेकिन ये चीज़ हमने मिस्टर राजनाथ सिंह को तो पहले ही बोला है 2022 के अंदर. आई हैव रिटन इट टू द एंटायर मिनिस्ट्री. 2 FIRs to Bangalore's police. Connected with all this bullshit, those 5 girls on Mrs. Madhav E. Reddy's identity have come and gone. After which you come here to do what? Welfare for citizens of Purva Palm Beach. How you should verify the domestic helps. What were you doing for 2.5 years? So keep these cheap egoistic aims to the minimum. You're dealing with very terrible criminals and terrorists. And they're here to destroy you. You had 2.5 years to look into the matter and catch them. And the defense ministry, to even before that, what you did with it. Something to do with the years, something to do with Varli. Varli is done by whom? Tribals? Z is from China. NI is India. You're going to get thwacked really badly. Your job is not to celebrate Varli Day. Your job is crime and criminal. तुमको NGO में काम करना है वो अलग बात होता है. This is what I mean. Your perpetrator is so great, he makes you feel ashamed of doing what the work you are supposed to do. And he digresses you each and every time and you fall for it. NIA is National Intelligence Agency. Varli has got to do with what? What's it got to do with? It's the work of NGOs and social workers, maybe, to group and to build business, or then Confederation of Industries. They're two separate businesses altogether. So isn't that clear water getting messed up? You don't know. You keep yourself busy with these kind of days. many people will keep getting replicated. The whole environment gets vitiated. Then you wear the ETs and the EDs, and let the DGPs and the IGs, their bones be scattered. God only knows where. Then take your orders from the criminals pretending to be legal institutions, hiding out over there with agendas against actually the country where they are hiding at. So this is nice. So something to do with China Z or then X or then the XY generation connected with your Dawood Ibrahim, but I say Dawood Ibrahim is only a poster boy. He has been glorified like a little mini star in the criminal world. So anything overexposed and overspoken about is not where you spend your time and money at and energy at. Your culprit is that who's funding every movie, every star. Last bloody 20 years I am watching. That miscreant watches my home. He grabs movie ideas from me, puts it out over there, funds it also, but converts it to his own required communication. Otherwise you will not get the funding. Funding though everybody needs. Who can do without funding in your movie industry? You tell me. The criminal is the one who's funding you. Where's your source of money? Source it back to the very source. That's the criminal. He will definitely hide it channeling through many channels. So you need to take it back to the source. You got the ability. ये तेरा युवा. Run by whom? The Yuva concept comes from, according to my understanding, DD जो है वो है भी नहीं. The miscreants hide behind his image that they only built to make him a little mini star or a very big star in the criminal world. But anything that is spoken about, overexposed, sure shot you should thrash it. That is thrown in your face is the digression. That is never spoken about is what you have to spend your time on. It is the financer. The one who gives the money. But not the first point, second point, third point, fourth point, fifth point, but at the core, where the money gets sanctioned from. So over here, connected with the ears and nose. So if you take Kaan this way, K-A-A-N, that is the ears. You take Nak, N-A-A-K, that is the nose. Maybe you are trying to say NIA uses XY for sniffing and for hearing or listening. XY is a generic term. It is global. Whose agenda is what? Make sure you know it. This timeline is in the past. It is before you started calling people fleeing from India. So, on one hand, a chacha has given advice to some of the family members that they should move on to another country because here there is going to be an anarchy where people are going to get massacred. Better to move out, it's not going to be a good situation. The same man, with his own face or then shape shifting for a politician, convinced party members that some people were fleeing the country. In the middle, he only stole the money. Also had lots of people massacred who were governance, ED, RSS, ATS, IGs, DGPs. Where all, she refuses to say. She says bones scattered must have been powdered post 2009. Outskirts of Riyadh and Umad Diyan. Here also we got Diyan. Riyadh is here. So this is that timeline. So filthiness of the worstest kind, which frankly ultimately is not going to help anybody anywhere except the criminals themselves. You have shaken hands with the criminals. Not even Pakistani spies, not even Indian spies, not even Iran, Iraq spies, directly with the criminals. It is them who have gone shape-shifting into everything that is left over in the government, or then 10% of even the Indian army. You must understand how much damage these people know they have done, that they dare to biometric their eyes to members of the RSS, ATS, where the ET of the ED. माना कि इसको क्या नहीं पता है. What about SOSing Bezos, pulling him off, then going for the wife, and since 2014 end 15 using Bezos's Cadabra Amazon for their criminal initiatives connected with technology, the digital space, coding, barcoding, facial recognition, recasting, selling products also that either listen, take images, depends what you have bought and placed it where in your home. They celebrate Eid on the back of it. You want to kill me, I'm okay with it. I got lots of family already on the other side. I have no problem exiting out of the body. हमको तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ना हमको प्रॉब्लम था जन्म लेने के पहले, ना ड्यूरिंग माई जन्म थोड़ा यहाँ वहाँ तो उठाया है. बट लुक एट व्हाट अदर्स हैव टेकन. वंस वी गो बैक टू स्पिरिट, वी आर ओके. तुमको पहले भी प्रॉब्लम था, तुमने उसको एवरी बर्थ जब जब तुमको चांस मिलता है, don't know, I cannot judge you and I can't judge your situation. You do what is best for you. It's not my place to judge you, for sure. So since we were talking about Diyan, Umar Diyan, now you will appreciate कि रियाद जो है, we need another D. LK is LK Advani. X. There's a man from Afghanistan who's supposed to have shapeshifted for late Mr. LK Advani earlier. SL has met the real LK Advani and then fooled around on the back of it post 1996 sometime. He thought he is dealing with maybe SRL. But SRL was murdered in 1995, in place of whom SL went. So, Riyadh and Diyan. This is Umad Diyan. This is where? Saudi. So, they are saying the bones were thrown off people. But I say it is not possible. You kill in one place and then why you need to go throw it in the deserts of outskirts of Riyadh and Umad Diyan. Like that, there were many pockets over there, all desert land. Why do that? Riyadh is a very big city, very well developed. But it is not in the city, it is on the outskirts of it. I've shown the map. It is supposed to have happened only after the real Salman Khan was murdered. 9 people shapeshifted for the dead Salman Khan. Salim, Salma, Salman Beg. The 9 shapeshifters, some of them probably come from the Middle East. लेबर क्लास क्या सुल्तान, एक को राजकोट का राजा बनना है, दूसरे को सुल्तान बनना है. तुमने दिखाया हाथ गाड़ी वाला का स्टेप. So anyway, it is not my decision to, and it's not my place to decide anything. All I'm saying is the reading is pointing in that direction. And I am not intelligence. ना ही हमारा कर्म ना धर्म है इंटेलिजेंस बनने के लिए. हमारा धर्म कर्म है जो शिरडी साईं बाबा बोले करो तो करे, इसी तक ख़त्म होता है. जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन और जिसको काम करना है, you know who you people are. It is not an ego issue. If your contract before you were born also is that you are supposed to find the miscreants, तो तू करेगा कर्म. Karam being action, dharam being the dharma, the work that you chose to do or you were born to do. It's called intelligence. Military, police, defense, law and order, crime and criminal, catching them. I don't know if this is Lakhan. You know my name is Lakhan. My name is Lakhan. सजनों का सजन, मेरा नाम है लखन. You know that song, G-A-G-O-G, Lo G, Suno G. My name is Lakhan, Sajno Ka Sajan, Mera Naam Hai Lakhan. Other one is Aiko Aiko, I think. I don't know. Is it? Aya ka naya band bajane ko. Aiko Aiko? Yenna 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 Yenna. Belongs to the Kapoor family, Mr. Anil Kapoor. Married to whom? a Hingorani girl. So where Kailash Hingorani gets married, in that in-laws family, there's a girl over there who gets married to Anil Kapoor. That's the connect. Bonnie Kapoor and all are supposed to be at the receiving end of the criminals. कहाँ से आ रहा है किसको पता नहीं है. Along with Rishi Kapoor, his whole family, which means who? Raj Kapoor's full family, Shami Kapoor's full family, and their descendants. They are at the receiving end of the criminal, but they don't know where the criminal comes from. तो इसको बोलते हैं pepper spray in the full dish. It's happened everywhere. So Lanka Ranka we got before also. Lanka is Sri Lanka, Ravan's Lanka. Ranka Park is where I stayed 2 months after I got married. Luckily I could go for long honeymoon, stay in Bombay for another 1 month, then another 6 weeks, not 6 weeks, what is it, 1 week in Goa. To round Mar ke, finally we came back to the ex-husband's parents' home here in Ranka Park. Couldn't stay there more than 2.5 months. Decided to call the marriage off, which I did. So this place many times has been called Ranka the Lanka. You must address it. The financer for movies is Mr. Cyrus Mistry, by the way. Cyrus का नाम तो क्यों लेता रहता है? The 2 girls who were playing the role of the maid over there, did they eventually want to join the film industry? What about the ex-mother-in-law? The son was murdered in 95. I only study energy. Either I can stay or I can leave. I don't look beyond. I don't care. Yeah, society, my dad and all matter. But if I have to weigh the options and see where the damage is the maximum, understanding is it's at the soul level. If the energy is feeling wrong, फिर at a soul level तो आगे जाके we can't tolerate it. निकलना ही पड़ता है. So we did the right move. But not before visiting Whitefield and all. Tirupati and all. That triggered it even more. So that doesn't matter. All I'm just trying to tell you, does NW, is it now? Z means China, or is it X? Because X is a misprint. All the content which is on Twitter, you are sending me reel after reel of other people's deeds and dumping it on me, Elon. Or should I just say Jay? Because Jay is in Elon's camp. You're trying to bend reality of other people's misdeeds and trying to dump it on me. What you are trying to do? You are hiding out at Elon's camp. You have run off with my passport. जब जब तुमने ऊपर नीचे किया है हमारे नाम पे किया है. This is what I have been given halfway to understand. I can still be wrong, but you're definitely connected to that who has done all the wrong with the Advani family, Sadhangani family, this entire list. That Kira who comes to America to be Mr. Trump, that is Kira only, nobody else. When Errol has come to India, so many people have lost their life. Last I know is Nirmala Sitaraman. Let's ask while we are on the topic. Your finance minister. पूछते हैं, come on. This is what they are doing. They are so scared of getting caught. One bigger miscreant than the other. Sprinkle their shit all over in every country where there are resources. Why have you done it? Russia के पास how much money is there? इंडिया के पास कितना पैसा है जो मिडल ईस्ट के अंदर है ही नहीं? या जब कोई इतना घटिया कर्म इतने इतने सालों से कर रहे हैं, इतने जन्मों से, तो बर्थ भी इज पुअर, तो ग्रैबिंग with great skills of many past lifetimes, or murder and stealing and manipulation, this is what you've done. Calling me names, frankly, I don't get affected. Temporary यहाँ थोड़ा लेते हैं, it's not a big deal. Go back home, you're a forgotten matter. You're on your own journey, not to see you for the longest time, and that's good enough. My mother knows who she is. She doesn't look like my mother anymore, is what I've been told. The one who's playing the dirty game is somebody else. She's shifty eyed. My mother is anything but shifty eyed. Are you with me? Are you with me? I had asked you 1 month ago if Nirmala Sitharaman, the finance minister, is she still in her human form? 1 month ago, the finance minister of India, part of the NDA, Nirmala Sitharaman, was she in her human form? As of yesterday and today being the 28th June 2025, the finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, is she in her human form? When Mr. Errol came to India, Errol Musk, Kira also visited India along that time? SL was in a panic mode along with Kira? They've gone back to America? They're responsible for all these murders? Did they try anything at my home too? Were they successful? When they have visited my home in the middle of the night, was it with a plan to murder me? Here at JAYA.ADVANI Purva Palm Beach, Bangalore, they visited in the middle of the night. They visited only one night? Two nights? Three nights? They visited 3 nights? Tell me the truth. One night I was very tired. I forgot Errol is visiting India. Plus, he was supposed to be in Delhi or had visited the Ram temple or had gone to, I don't know which other temple, Hanuman temple or something. On one night, I forgot to lock my door entirely the way I lock it. So I locked it, latched it, but not the way I do it otherwise. Was I affected that day? They entered my bedroom on the back of it. Did they realize I had not locked my door the way I generally lock it? And yet it was latched in two places. Did they realize that there was a faux pas on my end? They messed around with the house on the outside of the apartment, not outside of the apartment, outside of my bedroom. They made more holes in the flooring so that buzzers and noise go off from the floor. Did they plug my ears further with anything? Did they add any more things to my body other than what's already been plugged in my ear or whatever is been plugged into the body? Did they get a chance to add any more things to it? So most of the damage, did they do any damage in my bedroom is the question to you. They did further damage in my bedroom, physical damage in my bedroom. Did they ever get access to my bedroom in those 3 days? They messed up my apartment on the, leaving the bedroom aside, the living room. Did they mess up my apartment a little bit? Other than that, did they screw around with the flooring in some way or then plug some devices which do extra useless talking? Was it fitted into the fan? This was done by that bunch. The police is hand in glove with them. Bangalore's police is hand in glove with them. Commissioner of Police also, Mr. Salim. He's hand in glove with them. Are you sure? He's Commissioner of Police. He's supposed to not be the criminal, he's supposed to catch the criminal. Just now someone played a sound from under my body that was connected with him. Did they use the word Samman? Okay, anyway, let the pendulum do the talk. Now, maybe LA is involved somewhere. So that girl called connected with Mr. Nadiawala. It came to Nadia Wal, right? But not Wala. So his wife's name was Divya Bharti. There's something on Divya also. Something about her waxing. Maybe she was plugged without her knowledge, and so she committed suicide because it is brain control. So Illuminati, when they are functioning, making people who can only funding those kind of projects that hurts society in the manner and influences society the way they wish it to hurt itself, and everybody else falls for it. This could have just been along the way. Divya Bharti lost her life sometime in the 90s itself. RNL Ankh is supposed to be the one eye connected with the Illuminati. Whether it is true or not, we don't know, because there are too many shapeshifters, clones for the original. अब एक सिंधी बिजनेस पर्सन हमको पूछो, other than doing business, trading, making money, having a happy family, patting, enjoying life, I don't think they're really interested in being pat of the unk or the wunk. Couldn't give a rat's ass. Happy family, happy social network, मज़े में रहो, कमाओ खूब, it's okay. Increase assets, fine. Not asses, assets. At least that's the kind of exposure I've had. ये extra clever stuff I don't think really is of any interest. At least not to my family. I also told you one more thing. This thing about but her name is not even spelled properly. She's supposed to be Divya Bharti. Why is her name not spelled properly? Divya is Divy, yet her name is not spelled as Divy. इसका नाम जो है is Diwya, connected with NIA. Is it rank NIA with Nareen Lekraj? Anyway, one thing is very clear, it is all connected with entertainment. So instead of trying to hunt terrorists down, the funding of entertainment and the making of it is the culprit. Everybody else is a weapon. What is so difficult about that? What does Pakistan have to do with Israel is still not understood. So the synagogue at Bombay also is not understood. Ratan Tata also not understood. The bombing of Apollo Bandar Taj Mahal Hotel with CST and the synagogue and Leopold. It is more of a personal issue. No terrorist needs to go consume drugs to open fire. He's trained from birth with an understanding of his God will give him heaven if he does the work of getting rid of people he considers bad people. That only is his empowerment in his training. He doesn't need any other nasha to make him open fire. Kasab needed to be drugged out of his mind to open fire, which means he was not who he said he was. So then for 2 years interrogation came to what? If you can dump other people's clips on me, then why couldn't Kasab have been brain chipped to give you the answers he's supposed to give you, which puts you completely off track? Or uploaded with reels, which gives you a different answer to what you're supposed to get. After all, we're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about technology way ahead. We're talking about cloning as early as 87. You're with a different ammunition looking for answers with understanding ammunition differently. Whereas they have already gone ahead with ammunition way beyond your imagination in 87 itself. Why do we have Narak over here? This was not expected, but it's there. All this is leading to Bezos and how Bezos was done away with, then his wife, and how Amazon was grabbed in the hands of the criminals. This journey leads to that ultimately. I don't know if you recognize these names, you should know. AK is extra large. He's a tall guy born in the 80s. So is that what is extra large? So here we have the death of people. Divan housing is there. DHFL. We got the word Divan, but how do we understand? DIWAN. They were also called out to have something to do with underworld and some siphoning of money. but they're actually very good employers. I don't know who this is. Is it Divan Naren? Is it Divan Karan? New York in some way? AI in some way? Is it connected with yin in some way? Rain in some way? At Ranka Park, I went there as a girl married to Sanjeev Rajan Lekraj after registering my marriage. I was not playing a role, but if there are cheap people who spat at the institution of marriage, yet dare to talk about the daughter in law, the wife, the vermilion, and play filthy games underside of it, then God help you, because you're on the land of spirituality at its very source. Better still, you are very laughable actually. You're like a cheap joke. Whatever position is held by you, but the lack of knowledge within you, making you incompetent for the position grabbed by you, unable to discharge dharma and karma appropriately. So the cheapskate and the cheap joke becomes you only. Further impoverished to what? Infinity? So I have to grapple with your stupidity or your poverty on the back of your stupidity? No, you got to grapple with it. Why should I care? But yes, when you meet me on the other side, make sure you stand straight. I don't like slouchy. Make sure you look me in the eye and take what is yours, never to be seen afterwards ever again. And enjoy your journey, because you don't have a bloody choice. Make sure you make the most of it, wherever you get in those 15 realms. So there's somebody who was Excel, who had something to give and take with rain, represented as yin, Kala is short for Kalavati. Divan is also what we have in the living room, a single bed. But the divan was only at Parvati Sadrangani's home in the Sadrangani household. Rain is part Sadrangani, but Kala is one mother in law of Anita Anu, whose mother sleeps on the divan or had a divan in her living room, and she's the mother Parvati Sadrangani of Anita. So the divan belongs to Parvati Sadrangani. Kala never had a divan in her house. Kala is Parvati Sadrangani's in-laws. These two are in-laws to each other. Rain is the granddaughter of both Kala as well as that who has a divan in her house historically. She's a Sadrangani. Yes, when we visit our Nani's house from my Dadi's house, we always sit on the divan. Or my Nani can be sleeping on the divan, just depends. We don't visit in the night, we visit in the daytime. So if she is, I don't know, we generally sit on the divan because till my mother's brother got married again. Not again, he got married. Rajan Sadrangani got married. The divan was very much in the living room. After he got married, the daughter-in-law who is Mala Sadrangani, she changed the living room. So the divan was gotten rid of and a new setup was done. Right? So that's when the divan went. After she got married. That was in the 90s, I think. So Kala and my grandmother with the divan is probably when Varsha was born. When I was born and I was taken to my grandmother's home, they were at Sadnath. That is me. There is no divan. There my Nana also is alive. So we see sofas. My mom is all decked up. My dad is all decked up. There are photos taken in that apartment. And there are photos with me also over there. So my mum visiting that place when I'm few months old. But my Nana is alive. When Varsha was born, this has to be after. My Nana has passed away. Nana being my Nani's, which means my Nana Nani are my mother's parents who have the divan. My Dadi is Kala. Between my Nana, Nani and Dadi, my Dadi being an Advani is very particular about sofas, presentation, dining, etc. etc. My Nani's house, which is my Nana and my Nani, in whose house the divan eventually is for a very long time, they're not that particular. Rain would have been born. This incident has got to do with perhaps my Nana is already dead. The first time my dad and mom split and my mom came to Bangalore, Varsha was already born. I was walking, Varsha had to be carried. She was less than a year old, or in and around a year old. I would have been about three and a half. Soon after that, my Nana passed away. They blamed my mother for it. This divan incident has to be maybe after that. Because from there on, they sold Sadnath, or they sold it even before. Then my Nani moved to Sagar Sangeet. Then she put money down in Maker Towers to buy her 1 BHK. And so it was a time of turmoil. Finally, when she settled at Maker Towers, of course, the divan was very much there and she was living on pension. So money is, of course, tight. But they're living happily, they're living normally, but of course on a budget. And they're managing pretty well. So this has to do with that. That divan could have been bought primarily because from Sadhnath they have come to Bangalore, then they have sold Bangalore, then they've gone to Sagar Sangeet, then at Sagar Sangeet they've had to put down the monies at Maker Towers. So there's so much shifting that the divan probably was easy transferable. This has got to do, and this information is on X. Who you see over there is my sister Varsha. My mention over here is not there. My photos are very much being carried with sofas around at Sadhnath building. All my parents' problems started mostly after Varsha was born. That's the first time my mom left my dad. That's when Varsha was around 1 year old. Varsha's name is Rain. By then I was already 3 years old. So all the baby photos you see are actually mine. Simply because Varsha, when she was born, Nikhil Advani had already been born. Ramesh Advani had already taken away the camera. My mom was seething. Varsha's photos were not taken. Mine were all taken up to the time my mom finally decided to call it a day and came away to Bangalore. Varsha should have been 1 year old. I should have been 3.5. This is how I went to play school here at Sophia's school, where Mena auntie was the teacher, Vidya auntie was the teacher. Mena, Maya, Vidya. I think between Vidya auntie and Mena auntie, one of them was the preschool teacher. So I could go to the preschool at Sophia's school here in Bangalore. And that's the first time. Other than that, on those hot sands of Whitefield. The only one who gave Kalavati Hukumat Advani a bad word was Varsha Advani. Who's running you? Who has given Kalavati Hukumat Advani Ravan's identity on X? You seriously think your bullshit through your Sata Fata Shita drive is going to last 400 years when Atmas come back over here? You seriously believe that? Then with this kind of stupidity, what do you know about the spirit laws, spirit world, and how the Atma journey is? What do you know about it? You want to choke me? Stealth mode, you have sent something into my mouth, and either from the ear, nose, or what? You are moving the device inside my body to make me cough and inside my windpipe. You want to choke me? All the best to you. You stupid. Something to do with Karwa. One of these people come from Karwa. That is again the coastal road. Either she has a brother still at Karwa, there's a doctor at Karwa. My mother used to talk about a doctor from Karwa. Are they Karwa or is it Karwar? My mom used to keep talking about a doctor from Karwa. Let's hope he's not involved in the jabbing or in the shape shifting. Then my mom used to go to Karla also a lot. So Karla is the Sadyojad Ashramam, Swamiji's ashram at Karla. He's for the Gaud Saraswat Brahmin communities, what I was told. So that could have some backtracking to Karwa because that's again on the coast. Something connected with them. Is it DIA or is it NIA? The Swamiji over there is very educated. He didn't want to become the Mat Adipati, but he was told to become, so he had to become. That's what my mother told me about his history. I have visited that about 2-3 times. That's it. Wayanad is mentioned over here. Favorite place of who? Mr. Raga. काल भी हो सकता है, कली भी हो सकता है, can be a rid also with rin. Something connected with Wayanad. कली से जुड़ा हुआ जो आदमी है वायानाद से जुड़ा हुआ है, उसने कुछ रीडिंग किया है वहाँ पे. कली इज नॉट येट रीड. कली इज स्टिल फंक्शनिंग इन द शैडोज. He's planning to come in here. He's planning to show himself completely once he's got exactly what he wants. Grabbing from Russia, maybe, and America also. The list of people who are alive going to the lower realms. They're still alive. Kali is not going to the higher realms, he is going to the lower realms. See if you recognize anybody in this lot that we have got. None of these are, they're all workers of Kali. None of them are actually going to the higher realms. So if you know anybody over here, you should understand. I have never been to Wayanad, so I don't know. All I know is Wayanad. I came to know about Wayanad because of Rahul Gandhi's campaigning he had started doing instead of Amity. He started doing from Wayanad, or he has events over there, right? यहाँ पे यूपीए का कोई जिक्र नहीं है. एनडीए because 100 times I'm telling you the same thing. The shapeshifters dumped the shit on UPA, calling it Congress. Congress doesn't have many people left. Many stealth mode murdered, done away with. Same with BJP. While BJP doesn't show itself publicly, it is a very strong opposition. Very much required for the democracy of India, with very educated or people who understand lots of things. Those key people you got rid of and replace them with your own people. Many are criminals, genuine hardened criminals, many from the Middle East, with no idea of what actual politics is, law, order, governance and justice. They are opposing to it actually, according to their real identity. तो नकल करना, ड्रामा करना, ये चीज़ तुमको आता है. एक्चुअल वर्क करना तुमको नहीं आता है. क्रिमिनल का काम जो काम होता है वो तुमको भरपूर तरीके से पीएचडी किया है उसके अंदर. तो लाइज, डिसीट, मैनिपुलेशन, मर्डर, ग्रैबिंग, स्टीलिंग, नाउ तो डिफरेंट काइंड ओनली ऑल टुगेदर, शेमलेसली. So playing the good cop, bad cop with BJP and Congress, calling it NDA UPA, is the same person. He shapeshifts in both parties. But he dare not give the NDA a bad name because the Hinduism, the Hindutva game played to keep the vote bank and fool the Hindus who actually are the receiving end and the target going forward. All this that you see happening in the world is only dance drama by the same bunch of criminals. The actual target is at India and Saudi as the first lot. One having Mecca, Medina, the other one being a spiritual center for Hinduism. Kali is opposing to whom? Kali is Satan, Ravan, anti-God. So he hates anything that is godly, clean, clear, precise, black and white. Yes is yes, no is no. He revels in sewer water mixing with clear water. This is why he's gotten rid of so many people in so many places and peppered it, salted it, sewered it with his own kind. On the back of the confusion, he wins. That's why. So whenever he's throwing blame on the UPA, understand it is one person. When he's wearing the face of NDA, he's projecting one image. When he does the wrong with his group of people, he presents it on the back of the UPA. But both the NDA old-timers called BJP and the UPA old-timers called Congress, many of them were massacred, done away with, bones thrown God knows where, done away with how. Same with DGs, DGPs, IGs, EDs, ATS, RSS, That's how it has worked ever since. Which year? 2000. Stealth mode. In your face from which year? 2006 onwards. And shamelessly from which year? 2009 onwards. तो ऋण नहीं है. Iran is involved all the time. He has given some funding to Iran. Find out. Ya Kali Wax. Ya Kali Wax Dan to Iran. Dani to Iran. Iran is again Middle East. Darya Mahal is where Arun Jaitley's Muh Boli band stays at, Divya's mother. Oh, तो वो भी है ना दिव्या भार्गवा, Arun Jaitley's Muh Boli niece. They stay at Darya Mahal. She's friends with Varsha in school. So in short, Jaitley is Kali. Or in and around Jaitley connected with the Bhargava family. I'm pretty sure कि Bhargava family was only used by Jaitley. Their own Divya, who became a dentist, Bhargava, her name is not spelled properly, but she was Varsha's friend in school and college. She, Simal Lekraj, Varsha.ADVANI and Payal Sanin. Why is it Anne? I don't know. So Divya stays at Darya Mahal when she's in school and college. When Divya gets married, she does her doctorate from D.Y. Patil in New Bombay. She's one of the first few to go to that location. Rest of everybody from our school goes only in South Bombay between Xavier's College, Sydenham College, HR College and Jai Hind College. Max. I can't remember any other college. Only these four. If you don't do well in arts for Xavier's, you go to Jai Hind. If you don't do well in commerce and you don't get Sydenham or you don't get HR, you go to Jai Hind. If you do well, you go to Jai Hind for science because that's what it's for. If you've done well, you go to arts for Xavier's. That's it. What else is left? It's between these only. She's the only one who went to do her medicine in New Bombay, and that is the reason why I used to say, oh, her mom is so brave. She allows her to go so far taking the train all the way to New Bombay. And she goes so early in the morning, she goes with a bunch of friends on the train. And her mom's okay with it. But Divya's name is not spelled properly. When she gets married also, the boy is from actually Nepean Road. They sell their Nepean Road huge apartment and buy a bungalow and and take it to New Bombay. They're one of the first people who move so far. But then that is the harbour line leading to Panvel. 1998 is 2 years after everyone's graduated from the 91 batch of Fort Convent. But that is the first time that it is saying that Kajol was taken and dumped over there only in Panvel and murdered in 2000 April. And Ajay Devgan got married to a replica of Kajol. We've already done the recording of it. Off camera also we got it last evening. Now also on camera we got the same answer. What I don't understand is why we don't have Arun Jaitley's name. We have Aaron, not Arun. Why? We have Ali also. Ankh is to do with your Illuminati. Well, if Darya Mahal's Mrs. Bhargava, Divya's mother, is the Muh Boli Bain who studied journalism and law, or one of the two, journalism I think, with Mr. Arun Jaitley, that's how they became Rakhi brother sister, from Delhi days of education. That is how Priya Gaikwad gets involved in the 10th standard. She is royalty from the Gaikwad family. It says she shapeshifted in Forge as well, pretending to be Varsha because she something to do with the exams. Find out if she was poor in her studies or she was very good at her studies. Something to do, and she also didn't get along with her mother. So for a breather, she has come to Jaswal pretending to be Varsha. I don't know if that is true or not, but this is what the pendulum was saying. She has interacted with Mr. Jaitley. On the back of it, the marks that were given to Divya, JAYA.ADVANI, those marks weren't the proper marks. Those marks were a little buffed up for everything that everybody needed to get into their colleges. Varsha got a first class. Something with 63, 64, whatever it takes to get a first class. Divya got her marks but still did not get admission into South Bombay's, or did she get? I don't know, but she went to DY Patil finally. When I asked Varsha off camera, she said some stuff, they know what it is. Divya is alive. She's no more. She's Priya. 1 minute. Why did I say? She's Priya Gaikwad. So Priya is very much alive. Some of her families moved to the higher realms. They're very slow in moving the pendulum. She didn't get along with her mother. Was that her mother, or was that she not getting along with somebody who has infiltrated their setup? She as a child can feel the energy. Child means she's already in the 9th, 10th, 11th standard. And so she doesn't get along, but she needs a breather. So how true this is, when she's alive she can talk about it, rather than, I think the pendulum is asking her to throw light on whatever happened. It's connected with Jaitley, not with Mr. I-Occultist. I-Occultist's house was misused from 87 onwards. Richard Jaitley, who has gone on record saying we can go where we want, since they are BJP and government. Anything, anywhere, everything is theirs. Let me ask her who's the liar over here. Barsha also supposed to be French blue blood. She's to file name cat and dead. Priya Gaikwad also is blue blood, but known to everybody. Varsha and I don't even know anything about ourselves. We think we are Kani Advani, Anita Advani, ex-Mrs. Anita Advani's daughters. I'm the older one, she's the younger one, and that's about it. Pretty middle class. And live a very normal life. Priya Gaikwad is known to be royalty ever since we're in school. I'm just saying anyone who wore royalty on their sleeves was not spared. Neither those who didn't know they are royalty, but the ones who did the deal on the royalty between Europe and India for the people's movement and people's development, coaching, examples put into little places of children stolen from good households in Europe, then how to coach the Indian crowd so they become little sophisticated. That was the plan. Then straight out stealing our genes and embryos and DNA to make good looking children. On the back of bad karma, to make ugly souls. That nobody thought of. Playing stupid sounds from my body, frankly, is not quite doing anything. When God is done this, why I need to be a little cheap rat sneak? Keep it low. Come on. No time for bullshit. Keep the BS to minimum. I'm waiting जब तू जो आवे afterlife के अंदर. Oh my God. Here तो I'm alone, limited to the body. There I'm unlimited and going to the higher realms. I'm not alone. There's a huge community. फिर एक lit realm of judges है. उसके ऊपर क्या proceedings होते हैं और उसके ऊपर कौन सा भगवान प्रिसाइड करता है, ये बात तुमको कोई आइडिया है कि नहीं है, या तुमको चांस भी नहीं मिलेगा. यम और यमदूत यमी यमी लात पे लात लगा के तुमको नीचे लेके जाएगा फॉर एक्लिप्स फॉर इटर्निटी. तुमने ही पूछा है तो गो टू वेयर योर एनर्जी मैचेस ना. क्या है we all got an eye everywhere. That is why I say, you should always respect the human form. Don't make fun of it. The Surit system in the human form should always be held in high esteem. not made fun of the way you do it. Premium you pay for well ventilated and lit homes. फिर ये डांस ड्रामा बॉडी के साथ क्यों करता है? What you want sewages to clog? What you'll get on the back of it? Are you with me? Can I ask you who the bloody liar is? Darya Mahal is Divya Bhargava. Divya Bhargava's mother I met, she put the word eschew. After Sunair Thana wala, his mother said, what? No, you can't go to, you don't have the qualifications to go to Queensland University of Technology. You don't have what it requires, you need to work a little more, then I'm not touching your papers. At Kafbari, did she say that? Did we go to a home? Did you insist I go to Bina Shah on the back of it? I was taken to Bina Shah by somebody else with your face? I was taken to Bina Shah with somebody with your face. That person was plugged into our home by whom? That was Aarti Arta. Took me to Bina Shah. Was it Nina Nanthu's daughter who took me to Bina Shah? That girl was plugged in by Arun Jaitley into our home to look like you. That girl was Priya Gaikwad. Arun Jaitley ever got Priya Gaikwad to shapeshift at number 4 Jaswal for a break as JAYA.ADVANI ever? Something went wrong with Priya Gaikwad on the back of it also. Priya Gaikwad used to be at odds with her mother. Her mother used to be watching out for her. Was that her real mother? Again, was that mother placed into Priya Gaikwad's house by Jaitley himself to create problems for Priya Gaikwad? Arun Jaitley was playing around with people who were of royal background or then industrialist homes. So he was playing chessboard games with them, including Advani family. Arun Jaitley has left his human form so far. Arun Jaitley declared himself dead to the world. So in the last few years, when Arun Jaitley is dead to the world but alive and shape-shifting, he's playing the biggest game of his chessboard game. He likes mental games. He and Cyrus get along. Both like mental chess games with human beings, confusing everything they touch. Cyrus is a victim. Arun Jaitley is a victim. Arun Jaitley has used Cyrus in some way. Cyrus has left his human form so far. Cyrus का जो हालत है, whatever is the situation with Cyrus Mistry, it is the work of Arun Jaitley indirectly or directly. Divya mentioned over here is Divya Bhargava. Darya Mahal is Darya Mahal. The growing of the liars who? Who is the liar? Connected with the Ankh, which is the Illuminati. Ankh is got to do with the Illuminati? Does Ankh have to do with the Illuminati, Varsha? You're answering whom? The Ankh has to do with the Illuminati, Varsha? You used to say one fish eye, one fish eye. That was you who used to talk about the fish eye? Your replica used to talk about the fish eye? Your replica is friends with Ankur Patodia's stand-in? Ankur Patodia, who drove all the way to drop me to Khandala at 1 in the morning, going berserk, in his new Mercedes, triggered by I don't know what, wants me to feel fear, crying, pain. He's the real Ankur Patodia? Does he know your replica or the stand-in for you? You will not answer that idiot on the fan. You please answer only me. My hands hurt holding this thing. Who is the liar? The liar is the girl who took me to Bina Shah's office. Are you calling her a liar? Is Divya Bhargava the liar? Is Priya Gaikwad the liar? Am I a liar? Is Payal Sanin a liar? Is JAYA.ADVANI the blue blood French girl? File name Cat the liar? Is Divya Bhargava the liar? Divya went on to become a dentist. Divya ever studied at HR college? Sydenham College? She went to Jai Hind College ever? She got into Jai Hind College? Then she became a dentist when D.Y. Patil is, I still remember D.Y. Patil because I was very surprised. Did she go to D.Y. Patil College somewhere far away in the far-flung suburbs of the harbour line? She married a boy, her husband's name was Karan by any chance? He had his apartment in that same Ramba Samba building, right? Ramba at Nepensi Road, opposite Chandralok. They sold and they went away to Vashi. They were one of the first few who moved, right? So you're calling that Divya a liar? That Divya Bhargava was in my batch at Fort Convent School? That Divya Bhargava was in your batch in Fort Convent School? Her mother wrote my letter of intent essay for QUT with the word eschew in it. I went to QUT to study. I did an MBA for 1.5 years. It's supposed to be a 2-year MBA, concise to 1.5 years. Did I graduate from QUT going to Australia, Brisbane? All this was planned for something? Was it all pre planned or did it happen naturally? Yes, if you want to see Kali, you will get Kali also. In short, it is identifying I have a feeling Jetli only. The name Bhargava becomes very important from an Indian perspective or a Hindu perspective. So, alliance with such a name is important for politics simply because it lends authenticity to the Indian identity or a Hindu identity. SRK also got married to Gauri Khan. The real Kajol Mukherjee was done away with, and SRK, it is said, placed the replica to get married to Ajay Devgan. Parallelly, all the while, Kajol was alive at that point in time. Ajay Devgan and Kajol's marriage happened on the 24th of February 2000, no, 1999 I read. I did some study on the internet. So 24th of February 1999 is when Kajol got married to Ajay Devgan. But my pendulum says she was pulled off before 1999, in 98 itself. Sometime during the course of 1998. But she was murdered only in April 2000. There is a time she and Mr. Kiran Merchant, the original one, were in the same place for a few months. And his Kajol in 2000, who was done away with, Kiran Merchant stayed on underground or wherever he was holed up at for the next about 9 years. So what I understand is they take what they want, then they murder the person and bring the next person in. And they do this in rotation. In that time, when Kajol would have been pulled off and her replica would have gone to stand in to do the work of an actress for 2 movies that were released simultaneously, let's say one after the other, in the year 2000 and 2001, both were flops. That is another red flag to say that this is a possibility, simply because the public recognizes the energy, but in the subsequent movies they see the face but they don't connect with the energy. That's another 2 red flags. It takes 1 to 2 years for the movie to get whatever shooting and whatever happens with them. नाग नागिन है, NAA, नाग नहीं है. नारियल, Anyway, it is 12:41 now. I'm tired, so I will now put this to rest. It's enough for today, I think. Uh, Let me ask her who she's talking about. Kali. Who is Kali? Marisha? Can I ask you about SRK? SRK has earned Nark and Patal. How many kalpas? More than 10? More than 20? More than 30? More than 40? More than 50? More than 100? More than 90? No, around 90? 80? 70? 60? 50? 40? "41 kalpas, 42 kalpas, 43 kalpas, 44 kalpas, 45 kalpas, 46 kalpas, 45 kalpas, 44 kalpas, same as Tony Fernandez. So you're saying his is also 44 kalpas count? Now do you want to answer about Nikhil Advani? Ramesh Advani's son Nikhil Advani's Kali. Can you tell me? Has Nikhil shapeshifted for SRK? Did SRK get Nikhil into trouble? Let's just say gelling identities, using ETs, confusing intelligence with that same purpose? Is Mala Bhavnani's husband, Nikhil Advani, is he still in his human form? Nikhil Advani is the father for both Krish as well as for Liana. Liana's name is over here. Nikhil is the father of both. Mala is the mother of both. There is something connected with Liana that one needs to check. Nikhil Advani is in his human form today. Okay, let me put it this way. Earlier I asked you, we went to Kodaikanal as kids. Sandra was over there. Chitru auntie was over there. Nikhil Advani was over there. He was pulling on the calf's neck. And he was being screamed at by everybody to leave the calf alone. The calf died on the third or fourth day. That boy is Kali. But that is Suchitra's son. Suchitra or Chichu Mirchandani's son with Ramesh Advani. Isn't he Hakumat Rai Advani's grandson? Is that boy Kali? Is that boy in his human form today? It is that boy who is the father of Liana and Krish. But if that boy is Kali, how can he go to the higher realms? Isn't he going to the higher realms? His mother's gone to the higher realms. She passed away in 1985. Suchitra Mirchandani passed away in 1985 or 86. Nobody knew about it. That means Nikhil's upbringing was in the hands of a lookalike of Suchitra Mirchandani. So Suchitra Mirchandani went to the higher realms. She is the mother of Nikhil Advani. Her son Nikhil Advani has gone to the higher realms upon passing out of his body. Okay, I'm going to close this over here. I'll just put Liana's name so I don't forget how to take it forward. You okay with me shutting this off? So to take it forward in the next read, his daughter's name is Liana. So find out if she has any connection in any way, because she is grown up in Carmichael Road. Darya is not very far away. It is at Nepensi. Okay, so we will take it forward. Kriya Yoga, Kriya Karam. And DNA needs to be identified, needs to be thought of, needs to be looked into. Prefer Shirdi Sai Baba doesn't have the Ankh, one eye only. When God given us so much ventilation, why close one off? Right? At the most, we can be three if we're thinking of the third eye. But better to keep all open. Two for physical seeing, one in between the eyebrows for connecting with the higher sources to see the unseen. Anyway, so there is some connect with Liana if this is Krish's younger sister. Mala and Nikhil Advani's second child, daughter. PDP is next to Darya Mahal only. So Darya Mahal is on Nepensi Road, which had bad PFI. Liana stays not in Nepensi Road, she stays at Carmichael Road. It's about 10 minutes away. But of course, in South Bombay, I think Nepensi Road, Breach Candy, and Carmichael Road, Petter Road should be pretty much together. Maybe all the way also some bit too early. Okay, so we'll close this here.